Good evening, folks, and thank you all for joining us on another edition of the Nightmare Hunters podcast. We're going to have a good show for you guys tonight. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Joining me in the studio tonight is Robbie Jed Rains. Doc will be with us shortly. He's running a little bit late. I believe Steve had to work tonight. So you're here in a few minutes. Doc will be with us. But until then, Robbie and I will do our best to keep you all entertained. Robbie, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Oh, fair to middling, I suppose. All things considered, drawing air and on this side of the dirt, so I can't complain.
Yep. Very, very good. Very true. Always good to be on this side of the dirt.
It is always a bit of an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got some good news. How much you've gotten done on the new book. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Well, book 6 is progressing into, I don't know if I need to tell them about it since book 5 hadn't actually come out yet.
Well, book 5 is close.
Yeah, but
book 5 is real close.
I think I'm 12,000 words. I'm about to start chapter 8, or chapter 9, one of those. It's coming along pretty good. I was just telling DA a few things about it in the backstage, and I think there's going to be some even more surprises in this one than there was in 5.
I'm starting to think that Robbie's not really a writer. He's more of a printer. You just hit the button and he just keeps spewing out pages. It's making me look bad.
Honestly, you think about it, it's not like that I was really that fast. It was just because of all the stuff that happened in between me getting Howl the Night Wolf done. And, I had the time to work on it. It's not like I did it in 2 days. I mean, it still took me like a month and a half, 2 months to get that book out. Book 5, that is. So, I mean, it's not that I'm really writing that fast. It's just the way things worked out. It looks like I am. But really, those books were done and just kind of been waiting for things. For the time it took for us to get book 4 ready, it gave me time to get book 5 almost completed. Same here, the time it's taken us to get book 5 completed, it's giving me time to get book 6 done. So it's not like I'm really doing it that fast. That's just the way it's appearing. More of a magician than a printer.
Northwood's got a question for you. He says, "You still making knives, or have you focused your energy on writing?"
I've still got some knives that I'm working on for some people, and I'm making those, but I only get like 1 or 2 days a week to actually work on those. I'm focusing a lot of my time on writing, and I'm still going to do knives every once in a while, but it's not going to be like we envisioned it. Because when DA and I first started talking about the knives thing, I hadn't started writing yet, if y'all remember, or hadn't really dove into it yet. The knives are fun, and I enjoy doing it. But if I make one knife and sell that one knife, that's it. That knife sold, and that knife doesn't do anything else for me anymore ever again.
You don't get continuing royalties off of a knife.
But 10 years from now, somebody can buy book 1, and I'll still get royalties off of it. So I mean, it makes more sense getting into the stage of my life that I'm getting into where I'm trying to do something that's going to supplement my retirement, because I'm going to lose a lot of money when it's time to retire. So I want something that's going to supplement that income. And I've seen my dad have to do it after he retired, having to go out and, get another job and do all this. After doing the kind of work that DA and I've done for 30 plus years, I don't want to do another job. I just want to sit around and enjoy my life. I want to write, and if I want to go make a couple knives, fine. So that's why I've dove headlong into trying to get these books out and get them the best that they can be.
Yeah, man, I get it, man. After a pretty lengthy career in law enforcement myself, I'm glad I'm not having to be out there with the 20-year-olds fighting guys on crack.
I know,
or bath salts.
Oh yeah.
Having had my ass kicked on a number of occasions, I'm not looking forward to doing that ever again.
So I hope that answers your question, Northwoods. Yeah. So I mean, if somebody says, "Hey, would you make me a knife?" Yeah, but I'm. It's not. When I took those 5 blades that I'm working on right now, when I took those on, my future son-in-law was supposed to be helping me, and he in the time that I got those orders, he got another job, so he has not been able to help me at all. So I've been doing them all by myself. So that's not fun.
If you lived in Missouri, I could help you.
Very true. You never know what the future is going to hold.
This is true. I'd love to have you and Doc with an easy drive. We'd be getting in a lot more hijinks. Mary, I'm feeling pretty good since I had the shots. Back, the inflammation has gone down. I still have quite a bit of pain in my lower back, and that's not going to change. But the shots at least reduced it. And I got to see my neurologist on my neurosurgeon, not your neurologist, my neurosurgeon on October 7th, and he'll make a determination then. And they may be going with what they call a spinal stimulator, which is a little electronic device they implant in my lower back. And they say that's about 95% effective with people. He said I'd feel like my old self, only nothing's fixed. I just don't feel it. So, yeah, I'll take still being able to walk and not feeling pain, even though I know the back's still messed up. Because surgically, there's probably not a lot they can do, but we'll find out when I talk to the neurosurgeon. But other than that, right now I feel pretty good. I'm not going to be running any marathons anytime soon, but I feel pretty good.
Well, my back's not as bad as yours, but I wouldn't be running no marathons anytime soon. Of course, my knees are worse than yours too, though. So
yeah, I ain't much of a runner. If you see me running, either get out of the way or try to keep up.
Yeah, because
something's happened. Yeah, something ain't right if I'm running. Wow, we got a full crowd tonight.
Yep. Already at 86.
Wow. Awesome. So before Doc gets here, he should be here in just a few minutes. I wanted to kind of talk about something we talked a little bit about the other night. Do you remember, Robbie, what we was discussing about those 2 elk hunters in Colorado, in southern Colorado, that they finally released the autopsy report and said these 2 hunters were struck and killed by lightning?
Struck and killed by lightning. That's what they said.
Well, one of the things we discussed was we actually consulted the Googles and found that on an average year, around 25,000 people are killed worldwide, and only like 26 or 27 of those is here in the United States. It's very low number of people in the U.S. are killed by lightning strikes. So for these two elk hunters to be killed at the same time is extremely rare. For two men, in good condition, good physical condition, to be struck and killed by lightning is an extremely rare event. And we said that, the whole thing just seemed weird to us. I'm not saying it's not lightning. I'm not saying there's a big government conspiracy or anything like that, although there could be. But we're not saying any of that. What we're saying is it was weird. But you know what would be even weirder, Robbie?
What's that?
If it happened again, which it did.
You don't say.
3 days ago in Florida, 2 hunters and their dogs went missing. And when they found them, they said that the dogs and the men were killed by lightning. What are the odds?
Apparently pretty good.
Yeah, apparently pretty good. It's unheard of for 2 people to be killed at the same time by lightning in the United States, let alone 2 groups of 2 plus dogs in a 2-week period.
And they were hunters.
And they were both. And the chances of them both being hunters too.
Yeah. And both going missing and being looked or searched for.
Right. Yeah, this one happened in Central Florida. Both men were hunters from Miami who had gone out for a weekend hunt.
Says Doc here.
Yeah, Robbie's throwing the bullshit flag. Yeah, these 2 hunters went out and didn't return. They were both in their early 30s, good physical condition. Their wives reported them missing. Sheriff's Department went out, found their vehicle, found it parked where they had parked to go hunting. said that these two guys were out hunting, and I don't know about you, Robbie, but I like you, brother, but I'm not going to share a deer stand with you. So
No, not unless it's like a 150 square foot deer stand.
Yeah, like a big deer platform. But these guys and their dogs were found dead, and they immediately said it was lightning. I don't even think there's had time for an autopsy because it just happened just a couple of days ago.
Well, if they're operating on the Colorado autopsy policy, then no, they haven't had enough time for it yet.
Right. So, yeah, Mara Rod says, holy moly, what are the odds? That's exactly what we're saying. What are the freaking odds that a pair of hunters were killed, let alone two distinct, separate pairs of hunters in different parts of the country, both killed by lightning strikes? That's unheard of. I've never in my life heard of a deer hunter killed by lightning strike, and now there's 4 in 2 weeks.
And like I said, throw the dogs in there. That's even.
I got to turn that AC off. I'm a little cold. Yeah, something. Yeah, too bad Doc ain't here with his yellow flag, but something is something ain't right. There's.
I ain't got no color. I got that green.
Yeah, unnecessary bullshit. 10 yards. Repeating third down.
Targeting.
Yeah. Mara Rod says they run out of bear and wild dog attacks. Maybe they thought if there were more wild dog attacks or more quote-unquote bear attacks, it would look suspicious, because just 2 weeks ago, there was a bear killing in Arkansas. And before that, a bear killing in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Where the bear went into the trailer, carried the old man off, took his clothes off and took his wallet out of his pants, covered him in leaves, then came back to the trailer, killed the dog, all without messing up the trailer.
Yeah. And don't forget the one that got killed on the, or is that the one you're talking about, the one that got killed while he's on the tractor?
That's the guy the guy in Arkansas.
Okay.
Killed by a 70-pound bear, a juvie, less than a year old. 70-pound bears don't generally climb tractors and attack people. They are very gun shy when it comes to loud noises. And he was allegedly spreading gravel with a tractor. I just cannot see a bear attacking a running tractor. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the likelihood is pretty damn low. Hey, Sean.
Yeah. You know, I know there are things that happen that, that you're just like, wow, I can't believe that. If I hadn't seen that I wouldn't believe that happened. Stuff like that happens all the time.
Right.
But some of the things that they say that they try to get us to believe, it's just like, you would believe. Doc says he's about to jump on.
Okay.
It's almost like it's easier to believe that it was a directed energy weapon, or it was something so out of the way than what they try to shove down our throats sometimes. It's like, okay, no, that's not what it was.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like lightning has become the new buzzword for wild dogs.
Or bears.
Or bears, or unknown canine.
Unknown canine species.
Lone Queen says if you have several different stories to tell, people might not get suspicious. I was suspicious from story one. I don't really believe in coincidence, especially when it comes to those kind of events. Yeah. I mean, the chances of it happening once were astronomically low to a pair of hunters. But for it to happen again in less than 2 weeks, to two distinct pairs of hunters, and one group even had dogs. I don't know. I'm finding that really hard to swallow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the explanation that they offer up is not as wild as what it actually is. I mean, to believe that many people were killed the exact same way, doing the exact same thing in a 2-week span, it doesn't seem like it's easier to believe that maybe they just got the crap scared out of it.
How you doing?
Wyatt, I
Hey,
am
Doc.
Hey, Bobby.
How you doing?
Doc, I don't even think's heard this. Doc, we were just telling this to the folks at home. Now, yeah, you didn't get to be on the other night when we were talking about this. You heard about the 2 elk hunters in Colorado were supposedly struck by lightning.
Correct.
Well, they say on an average year, like about 26 people in the United States are killed by lightning strikes. And none of the cases I could find were ever in pairs. And these were, in their mid-20s, good physical condition, who knew the terrain and had been up in those mountains many times.
Yeah.
Does that not seem, especially since it took them over a week to do the autopsy, does that not strike you as odd?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought about that too whenever we were, whenever Angie and I were talking about that the other night. I was like, this is real weird. Because a lightning strike, pretty easy to kind of see. You know what I mean? Even though,
yeah,
they've been. It was a few days before they found them, but it was a little bit. Hey, y'all, everybody, howdy. Yeah, and so Randall Kildare said they were both found with burns on their clothes. I know one of the guys out looking for them. So that's pretty identifiable. If they were hunkered under a tree or anything like that, I don't know where they found the bodies. I could see that happening because I've seen videos of multiple people hunkering under a tree during a rainstorm, thunderstorm gets struck, and all of them go bloop, fall away from it. So just like cattle, the same thing happened with cattle too. But yeah, it was a little bit weird, and in the area that they were found in, that's got a pretty high cryptid sighting concentration as well.
Okay, so you're saying that 2 people getting struck by lightning is almost unheard of, right?
True, unless they were so close together or hunkered under a tree or something like that, where that one bolt takes both of them out.
But it's an outlier. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. 2 people get struck at the same time. No.
You want me to make this story even weirder?
Go.
It just happened again in Florida. Two more hunters, both killed. That claiming it's lightning.
And they're 2 dogs, or at least 1 dog.
Lightning?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Wow. Yeah, and so what Randall just said, it was the wild they were out in, way up in the mountains of southern Colorado. Yeah, if they were up there in the Sangre de Cristos or anything like that, yeah, that is some rugged terrain, man. And here's the thing, I don't know what elevation they were in. Maybe Randall could enlighten us on this since he knows somebody was hunting them. You get above, I'll say this, you get above timberline, bro, your ass is hanging out in the wind, man. And it's the weather, your ass is grass and the weather is the weed eater. You know what I mean? And because you get above timberline, you got no cover, you got nothing. And so you're going to be, if there's one of those crazy thunderstorms rolls in like they do in the high country up there, they roll in all the time, just boom, out of the blue, clear blue skies, sleet, snow, rain, thunder, lightning, all at the same time.
Get all 4 seasons in an hour.
Yeah, it's like Northwood's ex-wife, you get all the personalities. So,
Rodney, the 2 guys in Colorado were hunting elk, and the article didn't say what the guys in Florida were hunting.
Man, that's crazy.
4 in less than 2 weeks.
That's very, very, like DA said, and I know you're alluding to this, that's very unusual. We
were talking about that, and I said, how many people are actually killed by lightning a year? He looks up, and it's like, what, 2,600 worldwide?
Yeah.
No, 25,000 worldwide
25,000
killed by
worldwide.
lightning, but it's
But
only like 26 or 27 per year in the U.S.
Yeah, far more people are killed. That's what I talk about in my environmental injury stuff. Far more people are killed every year in the United States by lightning than they are by rattlesnakes, water moccasins, copperheads, and coral snakes. Those indigenous snakes to our country. So, yeah, yeah. Arlen Neal said in Florida, a fire ant mound is the high ground. You ain't lying, man. That's true. I was just in Louisiana, so I can recognize that. Good
But
God, man. That's
freaking strange.
That is very strange.
I mean, we were talking about how strange it was before we heard about the one in Florida. I mean, adding those other two. You know, I didn't have your yellow flag, Doc, but I was throwing my green flag all night.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? So
This, you know, I don't really believe in coincidence, and this is just too bizarre. For in 2 weeks, 2 groups of 2 people, both sets hunters, killed by lightning strikes.
That's very highly unusual. Very high.
I've been hunting most of my life, and I've seen lightning strikes come pretty close, but I've never heard of a story of a deer hunter, even guys in deer stands, getting hit by lightning. Never talked to anybody that's had it happen.
All right, here's my question, Doc. I know how powerful the bolt of lightning is.
Mm-hmm.
How close or far, whichever way you want to look at it, if it hit the ground, you're standing there, how far away you think is a safe distance for it to hit and not harm you versus if it hit close enough to where it could stop your heart and not leave any damage? Because that was the whole big thing at first, was they were saying, well, there's no sign of any visible signs of damage, or however they worded it.
Yeah, well, I'll say this, man. If there is if the tree has an extensive root system, and this is something that kind of specific to the high country, if they were around aspens all come from the same. They all share the same root systems. Y'all know that. So if you see a grove of aspens over here, a grove of aspens over here, a grove of aspens over here, they all share a common root system.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if there was aspens here and aspens here, and they were in between them, there's common roots right there. Well, lightning will travel through those roots, just like oak trees. Oak tree roots go down and then they come up. So if you're ever around an oak tree, and the oak tree roots get pretty spaced out, pretty wide, so you're gonna get a good dose of Edison medicine whenever
Edison medicine.
Whenever that happens, you know what I mean? So honestly, it depends on the root structure, how far away you can be. Because otherwise, I mean, I've been pretty close. I've been within 30 yards of a lightning strike, and let me tell you what, son. If that's anything like the hammer of Thor, the old Mjolnir coming down, I don't want to be anywhere around it. But I mean, yeah, is there a minimum safe distance? Probably, but I don't know what it is. So. Yeah, the largest.
I was writing down the Edison medicine one. That's going to get used.
I was about to say that Doc and Jed will be talking about the Edison medicine in an upcoming book.
That's like the cops; they call it Edison medicine. I can't lay claim to that one. I've heard it before. It's like when they hit them with a taser, they ride the lightning. You know what I mean? So they give them. I
call it riding the lightning, but I had never heard the Edison medicine. I can see it. Somebody pisses Clark off, and he gets the hammer out, and Doc elbows Robbie and Jed and goes, "He's fixing to give him a big ass dose of the Edison medicine."
A little dose of Edison medicine, baby. Yep.
He's fixing to look like a hot dog been in a microwave too long.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I don't know where these cats were found, but I do know if they were in an aspen grove somewhere. I mean, like I said, they all share the same root system, and that's freaking nuts. And I mean, you're talking a lightning strike is hotter than the surface of the sun, from what I have read.
I read that as well.
I had a guy in class that in one of my classes years ago, they got struck by lightning. It entered on the top of his head and came out of his right hip. And you could see the exit wound on his right hip was about yay big. and it hit where it hit on the top of his head. The hair was a gray circle. It was a gray. That hair always grew in gray. He had dark brown hair, and it was just this big white patch right there.
A friend of mine's dad, one of the guys I grew up with, Kevin Piercy, his dad Marvin ran a construction company. They built houses. And Marvin was notorious for not getting down until the last second. And he always wore a metal construction hat. And he was up on the roof of a house one time building a house, and the storm rolled in, and they kept telling him to get down, and he didn't. And he hit that helmet, and it blew the end of his big toe off.
Woo! I bet he had worn brown pants that day.
And he showed me he showed me his foot, and it looked like a hot dog that'd been in the microwave for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
yeah. I have seen electrocution patients like that. One of the guys I evacuated from the Middle East up to Cairo, we commandeered a KC-135 tanker, and it went in here, arced around his chest, melted his dog tags to his chest, came in his forearm here, and blew all of his fingertips out. And it was like the hot dogs that had been in the microwave. Yeah.
Misty says Greg's been struck twice. That does explain a lot.
Yeah, it explains a whole lot.
Greg House has been struck twice.
Good Lord.
Poor bastard.
That explains a whole lot.
It's like the guy on Great Outdoors. How many times have you been struck by lightning? 66 times.
That's funny as hell.
Love that movie.
Oh my Lord.
Oh.
Big bear, chase me.
Yeah, White Rook. I could go for a hot dog now.
I'm going to throw some of them rascals on the grill tomorrow. That sounds pretty good.
And I'll say this, man, for folks that are out there, out and about in the wilderness, and if there's ever a storm comes up and the air gets really staticky and your hair starts standing on the end, you hear a buzzing sound.
Get down.
Get low to the ground. Become one with the ground, man. So, because otherwise you're about to be a conductor and not a you.
Go prone.
Yeah, not one of them conductors neither. You about to be an electrical conductor. Yeah, the ozone. Sherry Radway, you can smell it too. You can smell the ozone-y. And ozone-y, that's not a real word, but ozone smell.
What's ozone smell like for folks who don't know?
I don't know, man. It smells like ozone. It has it's okay. Have you ever, for those of you who don't know what ozone smells like, if you've been outside after a big rainstorm, thunderstorm with a bunch of lightning, how the air smells super, super clean, that's what ozone smells like. It's just like, it's interesting. But, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. I used to love sitting out on the front porch in the front porch swing at home in Mississippi, and when it was raining and thundering and lightning, because I knew I was relatively safe, and you could smell it, pretty cool stuff.
Greg, Misty just told us you'd been hit twice. We were saying that explains a lot.
Good Lord, son. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, electricity will do some damage to you.
Yeah, it will. And the thing is, it absorbs into your tissues too. So, you may outwardly look okay, but inside, that electrical conduction system of your heart is completely just fried. Man, it's literally fried. It's disrupted. So, you may actually be in a normal heartbeat, and all of a sudden, you go into a not so normal, possibly fatal heartbeat. Like that dude I had the electrical patient I had, the electrocution patient I had him on a monitor the whole flight. And because I was primary medic on that one. And dude, he was throwing crazy freaking beats because he had beats coming, they call it foci, where the focus point of electricity in your heart's own electrical pacemaker system. It was just firing all over the place, man. He was having shit firing from his ventricles and shit firing from his atria on both sides. It was, we call them these funny looking beats.
Thank you for the super chat, Northeast Media. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's got a comment here. Says Hey guys, love the channel. Currently going through the older podcasts and catching up. As unfortunately, I can't catch the shows live due to working nights. Keep up the awesome content. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was working a call one time and they deployed the AED, and one of the guys that was working on him didn't get far enough back, and his knee was touching the dude. That lit his world up.
Yeah.
He was okay, but
that's a
Yeah.
self-correcting error.
he didn't make that mistake a second time.
Yeah, that crap can kill you, man, for sure. I say a lot.
Oh, it messed him up. He
Yeah.
he wound up being okay, but it knocked. You know, as the we're trying not to don't want to sound too bad, but you ever heard that old Sammy Hagar song "Dick in the Dirt"? Yeah,
Yeah, it'll do that. Yeah,
It knocked the fool out of him. Is what you
that's
mean?
a lot of
Yes.
pressure.
it was an eye-opening experience.
Because those things typically fire off at like 360 joules, and that is an insane amount of energy to be launching into a body. So
Tyler 420 says, also, I know this is random, but does anybody know where I can find the song that's always at the end of these lives? We're going to be releasing that song on the channel as soon as we get a video put to it,
yeah, Tyler's pretty badass, ain't it?
along with a few others.
I was listening to it on the drive yesterday a couple of times. Having
Well-
a windshield time.
Boys,
It's a good one.
I wanted to touch on that bit with the other hunters that were killed, but I want to kind of steer us back toward the actual what the subject was going to be tonight. And I really, really am glad you're here, Doc, because this is a show I've wanted to do with you.
Thank you.
First and foremost, before we go wild, because I know a lot of people are going to ask this anyway. Please tell us not only the definition, but the description and the basis behind it and its relationship to, say, mad cow. Tell us about chronic wasting disease.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of do a little like 30,000 foot view of chronic wasting disease. Basically, it is it's a fatal disease. It's a neurological it's kind of like ALS. It's like a neurodegenerative disease. It can affect deer and elk and moose and any of those members of that family, and it's caused by a protein called a prion. And the thing how we know these animals have it is because they test the brains and spinal cords, because that's where it accumulates. That's kind of where it manifests, and it leads to a spongiform brain. It eats holes in the brain. And some of the things you'll see from it with these animals is abnormal behavior like aggression, or they may look very zombie-like, lethargic, loss of coordination where they're having trouble walking upright. They may look like they're drunk. One of the big things you see initially is the weight loss that they have from it, and then finally death, and how it's spread is this is the crazy thing, and there's certain areas that are hot spots. It's spread through contact with their bodily fluids like saliva or urine or feces. So you think about what these animals do. They graze, and they slobber all over the graze. They pee and poop all over the graze. And so if they're infected, well, guess what? So are the other animals that come in behind them. There's been some hot spots here in Colorado,
Here in Missouri as well.
Missouri, Mississippi's had it, Wyoming, Utah, out here in the desert west, they've had it. Hell, even as far north as New York State's had it. And so that's the thing is if so that's what it is. That's what chronic wasting disease is. It's a neurological or neurodegenerative. God dang it! I can't. It degenerates your freaking neurons. How about that? And then if you've got the it's also in part of the same disease family as the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD, in humans, which is an absolutely horrible way to die. I've seen people die from that, and it's horrible. But Yeah, so that's what your chronic wasting disease is. Be right back.
Okay. And chronic wasting disease does not just appear in deer. It affects all species of ungulates. It's been documented in elk. It's been documented also in moose, which means if it can transfer to elk and moose, it can transfer to any other species of ungulate, which includes horses. It includes cows.
I mean, yeah, hell, it could hit antelope. It could hit freaking
reindeer,
sheep,
bison,
reindeer. Yeah,
caribou.
Yeah. So it's a scary disease, and honestly, if I see an animal with it, it breaks my heart because I hate to see an animal suffer like that. But I've seen humans with it, the CJD, and that's absolutely horrible way to go. Really is. So if you hunt in those areas, I'll say this: if you hunt in those areas, notice any extremely aggressive. I mean, whitetail are typically not aggressive, except maybe during the rut. Obviously, during the rut, a whitetail, a buck will mess you up, and especially in the rut, because there's one thing on his mind, and it ain't you. And so, if you
Unless you got doe pee on you,
exactly, if you got doe pheromones on you, doe pee, yeah. So if you see anything, if you notice they're acting outwardly aggressive, like does are not aggressive. Yeah, they're going to run, but they're aggressive, walking with an unsteady gait. Then it's kind of, they look kind of zombified, honestly.
So what you're saying is, not those pictures of those does we saw eating snakes. That's the ones you probably want to kind of.
Yes.
Could that explain? Could CWD explain rising sightings of what they refer to as not deer?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it could. I was telling Angie about that when we were driving home. She was asking me what the show was going to be about, and I was like, "Remember those stories about deer eating snakes? Deer are omnivorous, are herbivores.
Herbivorous.
Yeah, herbivorous. They're herbivores. They eat plants. They're not a freaking carnivore. And so,
proud of me for knowing that word, Doc.
That's I'm very impressed with you. I can't even pronounce it. So it's weird behavior. So if you're in those areas and you do hunt those areas, please get the brain and our spinal tissue analyzed prior to processing. And I believe a lot of the slaughterhouses, a lot of processing places around there that do deer processing, they do test it. I don't know what they do for y'all.
You can buy home CWD testing kits.
It's like
if you're a hunter, they're not expensive, like $40-50. I would much rather spend that than bring home CWD to my family. If you shoot a deer, test it.
Yeah, and wear gloves, for the love of God. Wear good heavy gloves while you're processing these suckers, man. Some good heavy medical grade gloves. And so make sure that you're processing them and do those tests. Get those tests. And a lot of times, if you have deer in those area, if there is known chronic wasting disease, the Game and Fish, Department of Wildlife Resources, whoever they are, the bunny fuzz, those dudes, they will actually provide you with those tests. So yeah, there you go. White Rook just said it. Pennsylvania Game Commission test for free. So yeah, if they're in that area and you have known CWD, you can pick up the tests from the game wardens, man. They'll
check-in stations here in Missouri will check them for free.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So
Greg House is a lady that went to church with us, died from mad cow disease. That was in the late 1990s. That was kept quiet, but she was tested and confirmed. She had spent time in England and got it there.
Yep, that's horrible.
Well,
that's why here's where when you go to give blood about if you've been overseas at a certain amount of time, because it was so prevalent over there at that one time.
Yeah. Here's a question.
Here's where we're going to start. Oh, do you think Bigfoot? There you go.
There you go.
That's kind of the subject that we're getting to.
Yeah, that is a great segue.
Yeah. Well, before we take that step, though, I wanted to take our first both feet step off into the rabbit hole. There has been so much data linked to Lyme disease being purposefully released from the Plum Island Research Facility off New York. Lyme disease was created in a lab. It was not a naturally occurring disease. And I don't know if you guys watch a lot of podcasts. I know a lot of people don't like Joe Rogan, but Ted Nugent was on Joe Rogan the other day, and Ted dropped a bombshell. Ted said he has documentation to prove that chronic wasting disease was actually introduced to deer populations by the Colorado Fish and Game Commission on purpose by injecting scrapies from sheep into deer populations.
Gotta love this state, man.
To study it. And it got out.
Gotta love this state.
Greg, they closed Plum Island. It's under Manhattan, Kansas now. It's an underground facility in Manhattan, Kansas.
Makes me sick to my stomach, man.
Hey,
So
Spencer.
what you're saying is it's a blacklist site now.
Yeah. But yeah, Ted just flat out and said, and here's the actual quote. Let me find it. Where's it at? He said, Nugent said that CWD originated with the Colorado Department of Wildlife, which he claims injected scrapie, a similar disease in sheep, into mule deer in 1967. He stated that those deer then escaped, starting the disease's spread.
Shocker. Wow.
And that is basically how Lyme disease got out.
Yeah.
And Lyme disease can kill you, but it can also cause a condition called alpha-gal, which, if you really want to continue falling down this rabbit hole, if alpha-gal is a man-made disease, if it turns out that it is, who suddenly patented all these plans for artificial meat about the time people started getting seriously allergic to red meat?
Freaking Bill Gates.
Damn right.
Well, and it's that Lone Star tick also causes that as well.
It's because they also carry Lyme.
Right. It's an allergy to red meat. I would.
Yep.
And what else?
I would too. I love a steak.
Same.
What else has Bill Gates been linked up with here recently? Population control.
Yeah.
I ain't buying none of his artificial meat.
Well, bro, he even said it outright. And let's go down the rabbit hole further. Whenever in Africa in the 80s, when they started doing their vaccination push down there, right, for all the diseases killing everybody, what else exploded down there in the 80s? What disease? What did Freddie Mercury die from?
AIDS.
So y'all remember when they had their big vaccination push initiative down there in the 80s in Africa, and all that stuff happened after that? And what exploded? You know, what disease exploded? It's
Doc, if you hand me something and I tell somebody what's the word that starts with A, where I say I got this from Doc, it's what? I acquired this from you.
Yeah.
What's the A and AIDS stand for?
Acquired.
So if you acquire something, does that mean you went out and found it, or somebody gave it to you?
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know, man. Yeah, and this show is for entertainment purposes.
Why would you?
Yes, entertainment purposes only. Right here at the top of the screen.
Why would you name it that?
It's odd, man. I know. It's odd.
I've always thought that was weird. Acquired.
Yeah, I mean, DA, you and Robbie are hitting a nail. Everybody's hitting a nail right on the head with all this stuff. So, I mean, is it man-made? Possibly, but at the end of the day, is it pretty horrible?
I won't say the word because it can't kind of get you flagged on YouTube,
right.
But we'll just refer to it as the Black Plague of 2020. If you took the shot for the Black Plague of 2020, which I did because my wife and my son have weakened immune systems, so at the time I thought anything I can do to keep them from getting something. I agreed to take the shot. That shot is now linked to numerous cases of unexplainable heart disease, which is exactly what I have. I have all the symptoms of congestive heart failure with none of the underlying causes. Even my heart doctor, my cardiologist, even she said that's the only explanation I can think of, because there's no reason you should have congestive heart failure. You do, but you have none of the symptoms. My cholesterol's good. My heart function was good. My veins were I didn't have a lot of plaque buildup. Everything was functioning as it should. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, I developed congestive heart failure, and now I've got a pacemaker.
Weird. Yep, very strange. Very strange. And so let's talk about the CJD. I mean, is that?
Thank you, White Rook. Appreciate it, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
thank you.
The topic needs to be discussed more. Lyme is devastating, and CWD is only going to get worse. It may not be man-made, but it is man-adjusted. Also, go Phillies. I'm a Cards fan. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, and
go Cards.
Right, CWD is only going to get worse because, I mean, you can't kill the population fast enough. It's generational, and it's going to spread from place to place.
Hillary, that's exactly what happened to me. No history of trouble.
Yeah, that's sad. We're praying for him, Hillary.
Definitely.
So here's the thing, man. Chronic wasting. We know it's a prion-based disease. It's not a virus. It's not a bacteria. It's not a protozoa, anything like that. And it's also extremely, extremely hard to get rid of these prions with temperature. The only thing that can kill it really is high heat. So that's literally it.
So if chronic wasting disease was deliberately released in Colorado, that also plays in by making it much more difficult for us to eat naturally existing game, making us again more reliant on government sources for food.
Yep, and so let's look at it like this: what's the big money crop or the big money hunt stuff here in Colorado? Elk.
Yep.
What about in Missouri? Deer.
Mm-hmm.
All these
deer and trout.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally chronic wasting disease has been reported in all but just a few states in the nation, man. So it's been reported it's down in Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida. So
White Rook says, Doc, what do you know about Kuru?
Kuru? I ain't never heard of it. Let me see.
I don't know what that is either.
I mean,
I know about kudzu. I don't know about Kuru.
Fatal human prion disease originating from cannibalism.
Sorry, Vicky.
Papua New Guinea, causing tremors. Oh, so it's TSE, transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. So that means
it's probably related.
It turns your brain into sponge, yeah. And so caused by prions in contaminated human brain tissue, often from the practice of cannibalism. Causes muscle jerks, difficulty walking and swallowing, has a rapid onset or rapid progress leading to loss of coordination, slurred speech, difficulty feeding oneself, eventually dementia and death. It was first identified in Papua New Guinea in the 1950s. It is a member of the prion disease family, along with Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So,
Don, they do that here in Missouri too. If they find infected populations, they trap them and remove them.
What do zombies eat?
I was about to say, so somebody suffering from this disease kind of resembles a zombie.
Right? That's kind of where I was going with that, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you said that comes about because of cannibalism. What if that might be a contributing factor to the legend of the Wendigo?
Correct.
Well, I mean, you look at how a lot of Wendigos are rendered. I mean, it's not far off from zombies.
Skeletal in nature, right?
Yeah.
And they're hungry. And if you got CJD or CWD, whatever, any of these degenerative diseases, you're going to be hungry because your coordination's so off you can't feed yourself, right? So, yeah, man. Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. The main house had a truth and myth. Interesting theory. Yeah, it's very interesante.
Muy interesante.
It really is, man.
I personally think chronic wasting disease probably explains what people refer to as not deer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do become rather zombie-like.
And
do you still have that picture, DA, of the deer?
It was common
eating
in
the
one
snake
tribe that ate their dead.
Somewhere, I don't know where. Let me see if I can find it.
Interesting. So yeah, that tribe ate their dead, if she remembers correctly, and so yeah, that would make sense. And if the person who was infected by it first got it from like a mad cow type disease, who knows?
And you start messing around with stuff like that, I mean, there's no telling what kind of bull,
Yeah,
they're going to come up with.
Let me share the screen real quick here.
kind of bovine excrement.
This is a short video. This family was driving by.
He's munching on that snake, ain't he?
He's eating it like spaghetti.
Yeah, I was thinking Lady and the Tramp style.
She's like, that's good spaghetti.
That's weird.
Now, that's not typical behavior for a deer.
No. I mean, they'll eat you peas, and they'll eat you butter beans, and they'll eat you corn.
I'm not even sure what kind of snake that is, but it's sure chowing down.
Looks like a rattlesnake.
Looks like it could be.
When it flips back around, it looks like it's got diamonds on its back.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh,
Crazy.
here's your one. Here's you another one.
Hillary said she'll rename us the Diet Show because all this stuff has killed her appetite.
Here's another one for you. This isn't a video. This is just a snapshot. Deer's eating a rabbit.
Dang.
Rabbit season.
Wow.
So, I think incidences of not deer likely are probably more advanced cases of chronic wasting disease.
Definitely could be that, man. I mean, again, we're just throwing these theories out here, but yeah, I think it absolutely could be. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
You're all right, Doc.
Still hadn't recovered from yesterday. It's a good barley soda.
But to me, that's the most terrifying part about chronic wasting is not only can it be transferred to people, much like mad cow, is that it may have actually been intentionally released. Mad cow was caused because they were feeding sheep byproducts to other sheep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a special place in hell for people that do stuff like that. But I mean, if it was released intentionally, that's horrible. And again, you got to know if it gets out in one state, it's gonna spread, man.
Yeah.
Because deer migrate.
Because where'd they hear about it first? They heard about it first in this Midwestern area. Now it's all over. You know what
Here's
I mean?
the thing: to think that you're going to be able to turn something like that out,
Right,
and contain it.
right.
I mean, what is every freaking natural or animal disaster movie ever shown you? You can't contain nature. There's no way you can say, I'm going to put these crazy ass deer that I just made that could F up the entire population of deer in the entire country, but I'm going to keep them all contained. No, you're not.
Right. There's no way.
So that tells me, unless they're just stupid, which they are stupid, not my, you know what I mean, though, unless they're just ignorant, it tells me that they knew they were going to get out. And that's just the plausible deniability of, oh, we were just trying to study them and they accidentally got out. Nah, I don't buy that. It's like DA said, there's no coincidences. I think if they put them out there, and they knew they were going to get gone and get away.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, here's
Let me bring this image up. This is a map of North America where white-tailed deer are known to go, which tells you two things. If it happened in Colorado, it can happen pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
And white-tailed deer are smart enough to avoid California.
I was just sitting there thinking, there ain't any in California.
That's funny right there.
Here you are.
That's known territories of white-tailed deer, and that's from Mexico to Canada. And that's not even counting overlapping where elk migrate and where mule deer are and where antelope are.
Right.
So you basically could cover the entire North American continent just with ungulate species.
Canada, eh?
Canada, eh?
Take off, hoser.
Hose off, you taker.
Littering and
Smoking the reaper. Yeah, it is interesting, and you know, like Robbie had said, dude, it's gonna spread. How disingenuous could you be? You know, it's not gonna spread. Yeah, yeah. And Angela Monroe said, did they escape or were they released?
I would lean toward released.
I don't think no escape.
You know, and the thing is, yeah, how do they keep us under? Man, I'm getting way down. How could it, by affecting the natural population of our deer and elk and things like that? I mean, if people eat it, then they're going to get sick. You know what I mean? So,
well, how do you control the population as far as when you got, especially those of us that can do it, can go out and hunt and take care of ourselves and provide for ourselves. How do you stop that?
Right. You take away that food source, just like, I mean, if you're like genetically modified food, you can't, it's one generation. It's a singular generation. It's not like heirloom seeds where you can keep reusing the same seeds for generations. You know what I mean? And so it takes away your food supply. It takes away your independence. It takes away your self sufficiency. So yeah, 100%.
It doesn't matter how good we are at going out and hunting, if we can't trust the deer and the elk and the moose, caribou, if we can't trust any of that to eat it, it doesn't matter how good you are and how reliant you be on yourself to live off the land. I mean,
you could be freaking down on Boone, but if you can't eat any of that wildlife simply because it's got wasting disease, then there you go. I mean, because your bigger stock, like your deer, your elk, your cows, things like that. That's a lot of food. You can kill rabbits, squirrels, and turkey and stuff like that, but is it going to be enough? And even when it is enough, are you going to exhaust the population? So and overhunt it. I don't know, man. I'm going way down the hole, man. But
well, let's go a little farther down that hole, Doc.
oh boy, let me put on my spelunking helmet.
Yeah, best get your spelunking helmet out.
Parachute.
Yeah, because deer. We grew up eating deer meat. But you know what? We also grew up eating rabbit. We shot a lot of rabbits. We shot a lot of squirrels. But look what's propping up in rabbits now. Oops.
Oh, is it that parasite?
No, they're cancerous lesions, and they're telling people not to eat the rabbits.
Oh yeah. It's like it's related to the human papillomavirus, HPV. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was here in Colorado, dude. That picture was taken here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado's just full of great things these days.
And it's apparently spreading.
Yeah.
What are they going to infect next? The fish?
Why not? Yeah. You're going to have a trout coming out of the freaking lake with a beard thicker than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird.
It seems really weird that game animals are all starting to become infected with something.
Right.
They call it the Shope papillomavirus.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So,
to me, that's just terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, who asked me something? Don Donaldson, can bears get CWD? No, they're very resistant to it, as are dogs.
But bears, Milkman Jeff, he can tell you because he hunts bears. But if you're gonna hunt bear for food, you've got to cook it thoroughly because bears carry more trichinosis than hogs.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
they're loaded with it.
You don't want no trichinosis, man. Eesh.
No. And that's just natural to them. I mean, that's not something that's new. It's always been that way. If you hunt bear, you got to cook it very well.
Here's the question, though. Is there anything that's affecting wild hogs right now?
Not that I've heard, but hogs tend to be very resilient to most diseases.
Well, thank God they're as populous as they are then. And they're in just about every state in the nation. So at least we still got wild hogs.
Yeah, and they're popping out litters every 5-6 months.
Yep,
crazy. By the time they're 5 months old, they're ready to reproduce.
In fact, I read that there were populations of small feral wild hogs living in the nuclear exclusion zone around Chernobyl and thriving.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong there?
Yeah, radioactive giant hogs.
Yikes.
Also, they've been wild hogs spotted living around the exclusion zone around Fukushima too.
Scurry.
Hogs are very resilient animals.
Yeah, they are.
Misty says she bear hunts, and I've had bear. I mean, I've never hunted bear. I've hunted most of my hunting has been squirrels, rabbits, most ungulate species. So I've never really hunted bear. I've wanted to a few times, but I've had bear and I didn't really care for it. I mean, it's okay, but it's super greasy.
Yeah, I've had bear. It was greasy. I had it up in Alaska.
Yeah, it is. I guess I'm gonna turn into a hog hunter. 250-pound hog do a lot of feeding.
You ain't wrong, son. Yeah, but Miss Lene says we're starting to have trouble with wild hogs here in southern Illinois. Yep, I've heard that.
Because they've chased a lot of them out of Missouri. I mean, the Missouri Department of Conservation has been trapping them by the herd.
Yeah,
every state in this country has, with the exception of Hawaii, but I think there are some on the Hawaiian Islands too. But just about every state, especially on the mainland, has a hog problem.
Yep. 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 Amen to that.
Misty says you should make sure you wear gloves when you're cleaning wild hog because they carry diseases you can't get rid of.
Dude, when you cleaning any kind of wild animal, wear gloves, man. That's just a good safe bet. So, yeah. So,
But it seems really odd to me that the ungulate species now have chronic wasting disease. The rabbit species have this weird cancerous growth. Someone mentioned mercury in the fish. It seems to be
that's been going on for a long time.
7,500 years ago, you could live off the land, and now it's dangerous to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you live someplace like Alaska, where there's not a lot of pollutants and you're not seeing a lot of the heavy industrialization that you see down here in the lower 48. Okay, I wouldn't want to try to be live what they call a subsistence living. It would be very difficult to do these days.
Yeah. Oh, show. And if you get heirloom seeds and things like that, that stuff is a premium, man.
Mm-hmm.
It is a premium.
There are places that still sell heirloom seeds, but most people, like if you go to like MFA, which is Mutual Farmers Association, they have them all over the place here in Missouri. Most of the seeds you can buy are what they call gin seeds or GMOs.
Yeah.
Use them once, you got to go buy the seeds again the next year.
Yeah.
If we can convert the back corner of the yard to a garden next year, we're wanting to, I want to get heirloom seeds, and you can still get them. They're just a little pricey.
Yeah,
but they're worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So let's take that left turn at Albuquerque. Do you think that chronic wasting disease and maybe these rabbit-based disease and all of these things like mercury in the fish, do you think those might be directly connected with the increasing number of violent encounters with cryptids?
I think it's definitely plausible. I would not say for the dog man, because if it's canid, okay. Let's go on two different trains of thought here. If it's 100% canid, then no, it's resistant to that because it has this ability to unfold that prion, that protein. However, if we're talking something that's got human DNA and canid DNA, then yeah, I think it's entirely plausible that it could get affected by it. And yeah, that the Hillary said that about
said Fred Roll's father passed away. I hadn't heard that. I need to reach out to Fred. That's sad.
Yeah,
y'all keep Fred Roll's family in your prayers. That's sad news. Fred's a good guy. Never met his never spoke to his father, but I feel for him. I understand that kind of pain. So y'all keep Fred and his family in your prayers.
I don't have either one of my parents anymore, so
Me
totally
either.
get it. Totally get it, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it's plausible. What about you, Robbie?
Oh, I 100% am right there with you. I mean, I think that, and it's just like us. You take away something's primary food source, it's got to go somewhere else. Where we have to go to the government. And Bigfoot Dogman can't go to the government. So if you're taking their food source away, what are they going to go to? Us.
Right.
Yeah, long pig.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if animals know when something, you can't make a horse drink stagnant water. A horse knows, hey, there's something wrong with this water. I'm not going to drink it.
Well, they have dogs that can smell cancer in people. I mean, animals can detect a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, animals can sense this kind of stuff. So, if let's say you got a Bigfoot population that usually feeds off deer, and then all of a sudden, hey, we can't eat these deer anymore. There's something wrong with this deer. Opportunity, I'm sure they're opportunistic.
Yeah.
Let's see what that tastes like.
Yeah, man.
Poncho's
So, yeah.
Lord says, "Who's at Lake Wapapello, Missouri, blasting your show over Bluetooth speaker out loud?" So somebody at Wapapello Lake is listening to the show. Well, I hope you guys are having a good time, and hope you guys are enjoying the lake. But that's awesome.
Let's get this.
Howdy, y'all.
How you doing?
Good night, Lake Wapapello. So, again, kind of reiterating that, if they're losing natural prey like deer, elk, rabbits, because of these new diseases that are popping up, could that explain some of the more, well, quite frankly, just disappearances in the woods? And they seem to be, increasing in frequency. The mysterious attacks like the one in Florida where the bear dragged an old man out of his trailer without destroying the trailer, and then took his clothes off and took his wallet out of his pants before it ate part of him and buried him in leaves, then went back and killed the dog. That's not bear behavior.
No.
Could it explain some of these more? And the Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina wild dog attacks.
Right.
What that could certainly contribute to why some of these things are getting a lot more aggressive.
I concur.
Everything's got to eat.
Don says good time to play the Dogman Howl from up here. Somebody's blasting that out of the lake.
Oh, let's do that. Okay. Hey, Lake Wapapello, let's scare the hell out of some folks, shall we?
Here we go. What do y'all?
16 campers just packed up their crap and left.
That's funny.
We got the whole campsite to ourselves now.
Sure did get quiet all of a sudden.
Why'd the lake just go dead quiet? Oh, that's funny.
Lord.
Michael Scott says Bigfoot and dogmen could get chronic wasting too. Could Bigfoot and dogmen get chronic wasting disease too?
Yeah. Now, like I said,
will it pass to canids? You said it wouldn't affect bears.
No, pure canids won't get it, and bears, who are the ursine, they won't get it either.
Ursus arctos.
Yes.
So, could it affect dogmen? Depends on how much canid DNA they've got. But I would say Bigfoot, being an advanced primate, would probably be just as susceptible as we are.
Okay, here's a strictly a what if and a kind of a question. If a dog man is, let's just look at it from the pure theatrical thing of, okay, it's half man, half wolf. If a dog man is a true werewolf and it shifts back and forth like they do in the movies, how it's got half canine, half human. So how would this disease affect it at that point?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking about earlier. I was wondering if me and you were going to talk about that, because I'm thinking that the canid half of its DNA may be resistant to it, but the human side is not. You know what I mean?
Misty had a 2-part comment that's pretty cool. She said, think about some animals you see just laying out in the wild. They haven't been touched. Why? Because it was probably sick when it died, and most scavengers can smell it. Kind of like at Skinwalker Ranch, the cows had radiation and the coyotes wouldn't touch them. That could force these cryptids to start becoming more aggressive to humans when their food is sick.
Yeah,
100% right on that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're right there with you, Misty.
Yeah, I mean, and could a somebody who's got half canid, half human DNA get it? Well, I mean, the human side could. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Could it have more resistance to it than a human does? Could it have total resistance to it, or could it be fully susceptible to it? It could. I mean, is it something like genetics? You have dominant genes and recessive genes. I guess, like you said, Robbie, it could be what level is the more dominant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if it's a
Because
dominant, then it would get it. If it's recessive, then yeah, it would.
And
well,
the big question would be, how would it affect them?
Well, if they shift back and forth, then obviously, at the time that they're in that state, you would think that the canine part would be the more dominant. But
so, if Bigfoot was affected by chronic wasting disease, would that make it go on like a killing rampage?
It could, yeah. I mean, that's aggression, unchecked.
Drive it crazy.
Yeah, unchecked aggression.
Well, remember the book that I told you about? That's what the guy wrote about the Bigfoot group having rabies, basically, and that made them super aggressive. And they just, what was the name of that book? We talked about it the last time we had the show about this. The three of us talked about that, and I think Doc was in like, "Ooh, that's an interesting concept."
Miss Lene said, "DA with the hotel tomatoes, Hotomataneo, be able to cure themselves from CWS." I would say between Jane Matoska and Jason, yeah, and their advanced healing.
Hotel tomato.
Yeah, that's a
hotel metal neighbors.
All of that is hypothetical. I mean, as far as the dog man, I don't know. It could be. If we're talking Bigfoot, 100%, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it like us. It's a primate, so yeah.
I mean, look how violent humans can get with just say Alzheimer's, and that's a brain affecting disease.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Now
that's kind of terrifying. I mean,
that is terrifying. Yeah.
Greg House says they've got to up the peyote intake for a cure.
Don't everybody talk at once.
Yeah. I had another thought, but I didn't treat it kindly, so it fled. So I've got to. We're trying to remember what I was going to ask you, Doc, as I had a medical question. Oh yeah, other than testing? What are some precautions you can take, and what are signs that you may have already been affected?
Oh man, precautions you can take is get the meat tested. I mean, that's literally it. Get the meat tested. If you're processing your wild game, use gloves. If you've already been, it honestly, this is the scary thing. It can remain undiagnosed for a couple of years. That's what sucks, man. It could take a couple of years to do it. You know what I mean? To show those symptoms. But like in humans, the Creutzfeldt-Jakob's disease, what you're going to see is it's going to start out with loss of coordination, man, because it's basically, think of it like it's kind of like an ALS where it demyelinates everything. Your myelin is made by cholesterol, and it's like an insulation sheath, and it also starts putting holes in your freaking brain tissue. So you got like early symptoms you're going to see is memory loss and confusion, difficulty concentrating, sleep problems, vision problems, neurological changes. You know what I mean? And also you may see it their behavior. They're going to become more aggressive, just like with someone. I just noticed someone talked to her about dementia. People getting that. So yeah, you could actually see those symptoms in people, but it could take about 2 years. But when it hits, it progresses pretty rapidly, and people who are diagnosed with it usually die within about a year of being diagnosed with it. So it's very, very rapid.
Is it
Sounds
treatable?
like getting old and grouchy.
No, it's not treatable at all. Yeah,
That's
when you
no
get
bueno.
it's just like ALS. Lou Gehrig's disease.
It's a death sentence.
It's demyelination of the neurons, and you're going to start going, system by system.
How is like what Michael J. Fox has got, what Parkinson's? How does it, is that in the same? Does that affect? Yes, category. Thank you.
No, Parkinson's. I mean, it's a neurological. It's a neurological disease. It's like Michael J. Fox noticed initially. He noticed his little finger on. He was at a beach trip with his family. He noticed his little finger trembling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. It's the exact cause. They don't know. They think it has to have a genetic component, but it's what was it? It's dopamine is kind of like your pleasure receptor, or your pleasure chemical. And what it does, you lose your dopamine neurons, and it's they diagnose it, like I said, like I hit the earlier symptoms you have is like shaking and a loss of coordination, lethargy, stuff like that. And so, it's just like any of these other neurological diseases, which sucks. Is there's no cure for it, but there is actually with Parkinson's. There's actually treatment. Carbidopa, levodopa, medication, things like that, to artificially increase dopamine levels. So it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty horrible. But like the one that scares me so much is the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or the ALS, the Lou Gehrig's disease. So yeah.
That's I hope I never get something like that.
I know, dude. Me and Angie have talked about that because like that dude that was on Grey's Anatomy, Mick Dreamy or Mick Steamy, whichever the one he was, Eric Dane. He's got it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm losing my left arm, my right arm will be coming soon." And
look at Bruce Willis, how quick he went down.
Oh yeah,
he went downhill like that.
Yeah,
because I don't think he can't even talk anymore, can he?
Yep. No. And I have a family member who has a family member. They're not their family, but blood family. But one of their family members got diagnosed with ALS, and he can't eat, he can't talk, he's losing control of his legs, and this is all within like 6 months. So it is absolutely horrible. Any neurodegenerative, anything that degenerates.
How much you been drinking tonight?
No, dude, I just can't say that word. I've had 2 beers, so degenerative. I'm getting it mixed up in there. Yeah, degenerative. Yeah,
how weird is it that Jed is saying the word and Doc's not?
Degenerative. Yeah, thank you. Neurodegenerative. Yeah. Right. Nuclear. People would say nuclear. No, it's not nuclear. It's nuclear. Yeah, it is, man. And any neurological stuff is a pretty hard way. But equally, it would be a hard thing for a cryptid to have it, because especially like a Bigfoot, especially with their communication, could they get more aggressive? 100%, man.
It
100%.
would be much more difficult to feed itself, so it would be going for prey that's easy to catch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and most folks' survival instincts are not the sharpest. They'd be out hiking with headphones on, or walking along Fat, Dumb, and Happy, and walk right into one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, because they got their, as my daddy say, their finger up their butt and their head in China. It's like, and so they're totally not paying attention to anything. So yeah, just be aware of your surroundings, man, all the time.
Yeah.
Neurodegenerative. Thank you. Yeah. Now I got it. That was bothering me. I was like, dadgummit, man. I couldn't say it.
Doc's usually the articulate one in the bunch.
Yeah. I got my tongue tangled around my eye tooth and couldn't see what I was saying. That's what my daddy used to say when he'd be out in the pulpit, he'd get a little tongue tied on something.
I got my
I'm still kind of the wheels are spinning and kind of stuck on that.
Right.
That these were deliberately released.
And that, man, I mean, I'm not going to say what I really want to say for educational and entertainment purposes only. But it just really, I don't know. It really, it disappoints me, more than anything.
But it doesn't surprise me. And that's pretty horrible. That's pretty horrible. I mean, look at the end of right after World War II. They put entire platoons of soldiers out in the Nevada desert and set off a nuke a few miles away just to study the effects on them.
Yeah, man. Like the Tuskegee experiments. I mean, all
that's stuff another great example.
Is horrific. So it's just one of those things where if it was intentionally done, then there's not a level of hell low enough for the people that did that, to be quite honest with you. Any of that kind of stuff. It's horrible.
I really do personally feel that both Lyme disease and CWD were both purposely released.
I would not be surprised at all.
Nope.
I would not be surprised at any big thing like, H1N1, the bird flu or whatever, or the swine.
The Black Plague of the 2020s.
Yeah, that one. I mean, I would not be surprised about any of that, to be quite frank, and to be quite carried. But yeah,
I think a lot of these, if we knew the truth, I think a lot of these we would discover are created in a lab and released intentionally.
Amen. And on that note, I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
But also on that note, I do not plan to disappear anytime soon.
No, I feel just fine.
Yep.
But it does really make you think.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because, like I said earlier, if you're wanting to take over, or not take over because they're already in charge, but if you got a bunch of people that can take care of themselves, can survive off the land, but you're wanting to limit that, especially if you're pushing towards a big offensive type thing, which is what looks like might be going on, entertainment purposes only, but you're going to severely limit what those people can do to feed themselves.
Limit their self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look back, America of World War II. Just about everybody had what they called victory gardens.
Mm-hmm.
How many people garden these days?
Not a lot.
Well, I know Misty does, and we're planning on going back to. We've done it in the past, but the last few years my back has been so bad I couldn't really do it. But we're hopefully by spring we're going to put in some raised garden beds in the backyard, and we're going to be planting a lot of our own stuff. but it's one of those things that that's a skill that a lot of people have lost. I mean, there was a time when people could gather their own food, where people could grow their own enough food to keep them going. People knew how to preserve and can their own food, and those are skills that they, I believe, deliberately stopped teaching in school.
But see, this stuff like this, it hurts people like me more than anybody because I'm a carnivore. I don't eat a whole lot of vegetables and stuff like that. So stuff like this scares me because I know I can go out in the woods and I could kill enough to feed myself indefinitely if I needed to. But if I can't trust the food, what am I going to do?
Exactly. I mean, even stove up as I am, I know I could go out and there's a number of places I could go where I could get enough deer during deer season to keep my deep freeze filled. But do we trust it now?
Exactly.
Hell no.
However, me and Noah have already talked about, as long as we can get them safely tested, stocking our deep freeze and then buying another one and stocking it just on meat we know that isn't full of chemicals.
Yeah, I mean, when I moved back to Mississippi, I got to worry about the wasting disease, because all the deer and everything. Like my brother Keith was, me and him were talking yesterday when I was driving, and he's like, "Dude, I literally just counted like 30 deer and all their babies and everything like that, all the fawns and everything." So there's a big population of deer on that land. I don't know if he's ever seen any CJD or
CWD.
CWD on
CWD. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever seen it but definitely something to think about. You know what I mean?
I was going to say something. Yeah, the deer population here in Missouri has really exploded over the last few years because the hunting numbers have been down. And also they reintroduced elk down near down near the Arkansas border. They reintroduced elk and the population has exploded. And now they're allowing limited hunts on elk. So it's just a matter of time before elk species are back on the hunting menu here in Missouri. And if we can get, if you could get one elk, per season, and it's safe to eat, well, number one, elk is delicious. And two, there is so much meat you could fill a deep freeze just off the one.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I get
one of the big ones.
I get my beef from a ranch out here in Sedalia, Colorado, and they no bull crap in their stuff. And then I got my pig from this farmer up in Wyoming, that it was all really nice, Clark. Good to go. All no hormones.
I've got a friend. It's here in the chat that raises hogs, and I got some pork from him just the other day. Daniel, thank you for that, by the way. That was some damn good stuff.
Okay, so my brother Keith said he just texted me. He's listening to the show. He said no reported CWD on that land, and that's great because the land that we're going to be on and the land on either side of him is like big 16th section hunting clubs. So a lot of deer population down there. So
there used to be a place here in Missouri, ironically near Buffalo, Missouri, that raised beefalo, and that was that was some good meat. But they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, my goal is to go take if I had the money, I'd love to take a big bull here with my Sharps 4570 and get the cape and everything like that and do a Euro mount with it. And all the meat, dude, you can get like 900 pounds of meat from one.
Speaking of 4570, Noah just bought a Henry 4570.
Oh, those are nice, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, those are really nice. Greg House, when are you moving back to Mississippi? Not soon enough, sir. Yeah, not soon enough. There's a lot of considerations here. We got some stuff going on behind the scenes with the business. So But yeah, hopefully in the next 12 to 18 months.
Stray Wolf says buffalo meat's his favorite. That's why I was really upset when there's a burger chain, restaurant chain called Fuddruckers. Yes, it's called Fuddruckers.
I mean,
There used to be one here in town, but it closed, and I was really upset because you could get both elk and bison burgers there.
There's one in Greenville.
There's one in Branson. It's still there, but that's a 30-minute drive. Well, the one that was here in town, Robbie, where I took you for the Scotch eggs.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a block from there.
Well, I know where we're going next time.
Well, no, it's closed. It closed, but the one in Branson's still there.
Fuddruckers make some good hamburgers.
Yes, they do. And good fries, too.
Yeah. Okay. So have we any more questions, concerns from y'all about the prion disease and how it could possibly affect the cryptid population and cause aggression? Because that's a real thing. That's a real consideration, man. It really is.
Yep. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Ungulate, the CWD can spread to even cows, right?
Correct.
Okay. Is the USDA testing for that?
I don't know. Let's ask the Google machine.
Consult the Googles.
B4.
Oh, boys! While you're Googling that, there's a brand new pizza joint opened here in town. It's only been open a few months. The next time you guys are here, I'm taking you. It's called Slap Box Pizza, like slap box pizza. They make their own mozzarella and their own Italian sausage. Oh my God, that's good pizza.
Ooh.
Italian, huh?
That is some good pizza.
I believe so.
So the answer
Italian sausage all the way from Italy.
So yes, the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service supports testing for CWD through its herd certification program and by approving diagnostic laboratories to perform tests. However, official CWD testing is primarily for monitoring disease in wild and farm service, not for routine safety testing of beef products or a consumer level diagnostic tool. While CWD prions can be detected in meat, these tests are not for general consumer use, and the CDC advises hunters to test wild animals before consumption and avoid meat from animals that test positive or appear sick. So it's only for farmed animals.
Okay,
so they do test.
They do test it. That's good.
They do test it. That's good. Honestly, man, that's good information. I mean, this is a great show for those of you out here out in our audience and our chat that are hunters. This is potentially life-saving information for you and your family. You know what I mean?
Also, if you raise your own beef, and I know a lot of people around here that do, if you raise your own beef and you have that processed, ask the processing plant to test it.
120%, man.
Because deer get out among cattle constantly.
Oh, dude, I mean, they're all over the field. The deer and the cattle are in the same field, and if the deer got it, and they're slobbering all over the grass and pooping and peeing everywhere, which they do, because you'll know it. All you got to do is walk out in the freaking field, and you'll see a big hunk of – it ain't milk duds.
Rabbit raisins.
It ain't whoppers. So, yeah. Yeah, man. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, so if you have your own meat processed, if you raise beef or even hogs or anything like that, and you take it to a processing plant like a local locker plant, I know there's one right out here in Rogersville that does it for folks. Have it tested. Even if it costs you a little bit to have it tested, it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Greg, South Mississippi, what county? You ain't got to tell me exactly where you live just for Persec, but yeah, what county? I'm just curious to know. Because we'll be living in Stone County. I was born in Adams County, Natchez, right there on the river. Natchez. It's not Natchez. It's Natchez. Just like Biloxi is not Biloxi, it's Biloxi. and I was raised in Covington County and going to be living in Stone County.
Yep, I think we figured out you're only going to be like, what, 8 hours from me, I think?
Roughly,
like
yeah.
that.
Well, honestly, about 8 hours from you and about 9 to 10 from DA. So
Yeah,
we'll all be within a day's drive of each other, which is
I don't know, boys. That's awful close. Robbie, you might have to be on standby in case Doc finds himself in Slidell, Mississippi again. I know, but you remember what happened last time?
Oh yeah. Well,
I might have to detour and bar Jenkins Deagle first.
and honestly, hey, I ain't that far from LBL either. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with us being in the same geographic location,
Point is, an 8 hour drive is not far.
No, dude, that's chicken feed, dude. I drive that all the time. And
here's your question.
What if CWD was engineered to not affect certain cryptids? That could explain cryptid populations growing in numbers. Some it could explain more encounters with people, less human hunters harvesting deer. It could. They would probably have to engineer it, because the thing is, it's basically like a protein it's misshapen, right? So it's folded over on itself. So the thing about like dogs, why dogs don't get it, this is really cool. I'm nerding out here. It's because their PRP, I'm reading this. I'm not that smart. Their prion protein has a specific amino acid residue that confers structural stability and prevents misfolding. Basically, the way their body chemistry is, their amino acids and their proteins and their prion protein keeps that thing straight and unfolded so it doesn't cause all the craziness. So they would have to specifically engineer it at that level. Can you engineer a prion? It's a protein. It's not a gene. So you'd have to actually modify the genetic structure to introduce some canid prion protein in there to prevent it from them getting it. I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Certainly above my pay grade.
Dude, you ain't lying. Robbie, what do you think? Mr. Neurodegenerative Disease?
Hey, I just pronounced a word. That don't mean I know what it is. I mean, if we're going down that rabbit hole, then obviously what we've talked about tonight, it's possible. Or not just possible. I would say I'd go plausible, wouldn't you, Doc?
Yeah.
Either one of them?
Plausible. Excuse me. Hello. Yeah. He's quick with his little tongue, like an anteater. Yeah, I would definitely say it's plausible, Robbie. I mean, why not? I mean, if they have the ability to create it, could they not also have the same ability to have a target population? I mean, it's weaponized. Oh, mom.
Yeah. Well, it would certainly explain why missing 411 cases are on the rise.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would. It kind of follows the same vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if we're already jumping down that rabbit hole,
why not? The plausibility's there, bro.
Yeah. If they can engineer A, why can't they engineer Z?
Yeah, if they've got that capability, yeah, then they can determine what gets and what doesn't, to, as was said, to wipe out that food supply. Not just our food supply, but it's also the cryptid food supply. So what's that going to do? They're going to be like, all right, well, moving on up the food chain to the next contestant, which is Homo sapiens. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And here's the thing: if they already know about these cryptids and they've already had them and they've already studied them, they already know what affects them and what doesn't affect them.
Correct, because they made it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? I don't know. It's kind of all interwoven, interconnected. Yeah.
And it's really weird how the strands of these webs seem to connect.
Hmm. Hey, definitely ain't no coinky dink, is it?
Yeah. You when you start connecting those strands of the web, things start making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Very, very interesting, man. Yeah, this could easily be a 2-part show, man. As much as we're talking on things.
Technically, we're already in part 2 because we've already talked about this before, and
we've talked about CWD a few times.
Yeah, we have.
We're hitting different topics tonight than we did last time.
We are. I mean, this is definitely multi-part, it's multi-layered. It literally is multi-layered because everything, like you said, those strands of those web end up connecting, and I don't know.
And I honestly do believe that CWD may explain not deer.
Yeah, I do too. And I think all this stuff that we're just talking about has one single common denominator, and that's a organization that governs our country. So yeah, I think that's a single common denominator there. And we've talked about weaponization of these things and for many, many shows.
I mean, just look at some of the things the WHO has done in the past.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, man, I'm not gonna sit there and thumb my nose at that theory because in these days times, there's been many theories that have since been proven factually accurate. So that's just conspiracy. Nope, it's true.
Yeah, we moved that from the conspiracy category to basically current events.
Exactly, man. And
but when you talk about the possibility of Lyme disease, chronic wasting disease, mad cow, you talk about those being deliberately done, and then you look at all these patents for artificial meat and population control, it starts making sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does, man. And I'm not a conspiratorial person like that. But
yeah, I'm generally not full tinfoil hat, but I think this isn't just tinfoil hat anymore. It's too plausible to ignore.
It's like headlights glaring you in your face. You cannot ignore it. You know what I mean? And so everything is so glaringly obvious these days that you would have to be willfully ignorant to not recognize it.
Yeah, at that point you're just burying your head in the sand.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're at that point. You're you're doing Joe Pantaloni. Here I'm having
Joey Pants. Joey Pants.
You're having his. I know the steak is not real, but ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
you're having that moment.
Yeah, no, you're 100%, and that's the reason I'm like, yeah, well, these are all little hooks, and they all end up grabbing on to one another out there like Velcro.
Yeah,
really do.
And
DA knocking a poster you got. Oh, this is something Robbie did, man.
We're gonna have to make a new one. Yeah, mine's right over here on the wall. But we're gonna have to make a new one for the new logo.
Oh yes, 100%. And this is another one of my creations from Mr. Raines there. My brother from another mother.
Yep.
Oh, holy crap. It's going by quick, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, it has.
Like, almost, it's 8 minutes out. Good Lord. That's crazy.
And someone, Judy Wheeler says it's blatant. It's not just blatant; it's insidious. I mean, it's pervasive in so many layers that we don't even really see all of it until you start connecting those strands of the web.
Yeah, man. That's nutty for sure. Very interesting.
Muy interesante.
Well, boys, we are getting close to the top of the second hour. Doc, why don't you give us a shameless plug for Dark Angel Medical?
All right. So, if you know someone who says "hold my beer and watch this" a lot, or is extremely clumsy, or likes to juggle chainsaws, or just is overall very unlucky in life, head over to Dark Angel Medical. DarkAngelMedical.com is our is my little business that I started back in 2011, and we sell anything from your tiny little boo-boo kits for your ouchies all the way up to mass casualty kits to holy crap, somebody's bleeding to death in between. So we have quite a bit of different types of kits there that would fit most everyone's needs, and more importantly, if you don't know how to use it, that's where we come in. We also, if you got it, don't know how to use it, we do train it. So head over to our training link there on our page. We're doing classes. We're finishing up this year in November, and then we're actually booking for 2026. We should have that what's current sometime around the 1st of December. But yeah, kits, training, all of these above lead to you wanting to be the difference in somebody else's life. All of our kits are HSA, FSA eligible. If you're a paramedic or an EMT, all of our classes, our 2-day classes, are 16 hours of CAPC accreditation towards your refresher. And if you use one of our kits to save your life or that of someone else, just let us know what you used, and we will absolutely replace it 100% for your charge. It's called our Kit for Life Guarantee, and use a coupon code Cryptid20 for 20% off of your order. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, I have something I would like to add. I know a lot of us in our everyday life will conceal carry a cordless hole punching device. If you carry a cordless hole punching device, whether you're a first responder or if you just carry it for defense, you need to plan for the possibility that if you need to use it, you've probably got a cordless hole puncher device pointed back your direction. So if you're carrying a pew, you should probably have one of these kits with at the very least one tourniquet on board.
Yeah, tourniquet right here, game changer, man. So,
and if you do carry, you are a fool if you don't carry a med kit.
Yeah, at that point,
because odds are it's going to be for you.
Yeah, you have no excuses to not carry a med kit on you or around you or anything like that. Anything else is bullshit. And I've always said that you've got to have the best med kit you got is the one closest to you, preferably on your person. And there's no reason not to carry something medical with you at all times. And I don't have room. No, yeah, you do. You got room. You can carry a freaking tourniquet on you at the very least. And so, yeah, carry it, please.
Robbie, I'm going to throw you a curveball. You want to talk a little bit about the good folks over at Sigwo Arms?
I sure can. Sigwo Arms is our newest affiliate, and they are located not far from our fearless leader over there. Go check out the Cody's. They have any kind of pew that you can imagine. Doc and I both have been in the store, and we've both been like, but
plus a full machine shop attached for it. They not only sell them, but they manufacture them.
Yep. So they can do everything from working on them to making them. They're also making their own ammo now, and so they're pretty much cutting the middleman out as far as getting your ammo. So you can kind of take that step out of it, so they can give you the they can pass that savings on to you because they're manufacturing it now. Anything from, like I said, any kind of pew that you want to cans,
ammo. I mean, it's a one-stop shop for all your pew pew needs. And both of them are really good guys. Just go talk to the Codys, tell them we sent you. Use code Bigfoot5. They also are doing laser engraving now. They're putting you want a Wild Hunt logo or the Nightmare Hunters podcast logo or something like that on there.
Or the
They're
Nightmare Hunters logo.
Yep, or Nightmare Hunters logo. They are and they are also featured in the books. So go see them. Tell them we sent you. Bigfoot 5. Talk to the Codys. Just go in and say, "Hey, Cody," and they're gonna one of them's gonna answer.
We got to
They'll probably both answer.
Yeah, got to go to class there next year because Robbie, you're in need of a refresher. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yep, I sure am. I'm in need of a refresher.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to get a class there. And
hell yeah.
Oh, and hey, if any of y'all out here in the audience want us to come do a class for you in your area, I just need at least 12 people, and it's a 2-day class, typically on a Saturday, Sunday. Shoot me an email. DA can put my freaking email up. So if you want us to do a class next year, we just need to get it on the books at least 4 months out, so we can give people plenty of time to plan. So
register.
Yeah, DA can put my email up. It's Kerry, KERRY at darkangelmedical.com. And no, Dark Angel is not satanic. So, just saying.
I just posted it in the chat.
How many times I have to fight that battle for you?
Just because people are uneducated. People are uneducated.
Well, good. Well, Satan. I'm like, no.
Satan is also actually the light angel. So
yeah, Lucifer Morningstar.
Lucifer, the angel of light. So yeah.
And I had this argument with somebody. Somebody worked with me at school, and I'm like, well, first off, his dad was a preacher, so I think he knows a little bit about who Satan is. Just spitballing here, but I think he knows a little bit about who that is.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So. And that Dark Angel logo right there over Doc's shoulder, if you look behind him, that's actually Doc.
It is.
That's a picture of him with the angels drawn on it.
And what it does, our logo pays homage to St. Michael, who is a protector. And I was a paramedic. I was a paratrooper. He's also the patron saint of paramedics, paratroopers, and law enforcement. So yeah, it's got a lot of there's a lot of meaning behind it. So, and absolutely none of it is Luciferian in nature.
The way I've explained it to people, I'm like, look, when you see combat,
Northwoods. Sorry.
I didn't.
Archangel Medical may not be satanic, but my ex is. I'm sorry, Robbie. It just caught me off guard.
But the way I explain it to people, I'm like, look, when you've seen combat and you've seen things like that, and you've had to do things that maybe you wouldn't be proud of, but then you still have to turn around and help these people.
Yeah, it's the duality of man. It's just like, you're your patient's guardian angel, and then if their life or your life gets threatened, you've got to flip the switch and do something.
It's no different than being the sheepdog.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope. Chris Jarvis went here, Dark Angel, thinking of Jessica Alba show. Dark Angel. I didn't even know that was a show until after I already had my company. Yeah, man, Jessica Alba's not. Yeah, she's not hard to look at. She's a pretty girl.
And the other affiliate we're going to talk about real quick is Scallywag Tactical. Make some of the best blades in the business. Check them out. They've got some awesome gear. They've got survival gear. They've got great T-shirts and fantastic blades. And it's a veteran-owned company. That's one of the things we always are proud to do here is support our veterans and law enforcement. Scallywag makes incredible knives. And wicked sharp and just an absolute fantastic blade. So check out scallywagtactical.com and use discount code DARoberts10 for 10% off your entire order. That includes the already discounted blemished blades. So check them out. And folks, as we're winding things down, I always want to take a minute to talk about the 22 a day. We lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and that is entirely too many. Check on your friends and family who are first responders. Check on your friends and family who are law enforcement, EMTs, corrections officers, security. It doesn't matter. Check on your veterans and your prior service, your active duty. That's what I was looking for. Active duty and veterans. Let them know you think about them. Let them know you care, because you never know when that text or call asking somebody if they want to go get a beer or inviting them over for a barbecue, that might just save a life. Because these folks, PTSD is a bastard, and a lot of these folks have trouble dealing with it. And we all need a helping hand from time to time. And fortunately, I've got a really good support network that I get those random 2:00 in the morning, "You awake, fucker" texts, and I've sent those texts. Not everybody's got that support network. So reach out to your friends and family. Let them know you think about them. Let them know you care, because you never know when that one text or that one beer or even that one "Hey, how are you doing" is what keeps them off the edge. Because we're all fighting demons, and everybody's fighting a battle you may know nothing about. And at least 22 times a day, those demons are winning. And that we can change that. Let's get 22 a day down to 0, where it belongs. So folks, again, keep that in mind. We're prayers for everybody that needs it. No, there have been a lot of prayers put up for me over the last few weeks, and I really appreciate each and every one of them. They have helped. I'm in a lot better shape than I was even a week ago. We've still got a ways to go, but we're taking steps and we're getting there. Continue to pray for Miss Lene as she's still continuing to recover from her surgery. Pray for Steve Payton, who is one of the Ahmads. He had what someone once referred to as carpal tunnel surgery, and he's still recovering from that, and he spent his time in uniform too. So again, he's right there with the rest of us. He's had his demons and his crosses to bear. And everybody else pray for Fred's family, and for Fred at the loss of his dad, and anybody else in the chat who might need it. And right now, state of the world and the state of things, we could all use it. So let's just lift each other up and pray for one another, and hope that good things come to all of us. And that is my wish to each and every one of you. Amen. And since we got Doc here, I will put him on the spot again. Doc, how about you take us out with the toast tonight?
Be glad to, sir. All right, if you got something to lift with, don't care what kind of liquid it is, just say a little toast. And this is the parting glass is an Irish drinking song. This is one of the stanzas from it. So, but since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Slàinte.
Slàinte. Good night, everybody, and we will see you guys on Monday night for Monday Mayhem.
Plains, the winds are howling, saloon doors swinging, shadows growling. 3 lawmen stand tough as rawhide. Yeah, Doc and DA, nothing can abide. Whiskey shots and poker faces, staring down the darkest spaces in this town where legends roam. These boys bring justice, sending evil home. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. head's a howler, claws of steel. Doc's a biter, makes a devil real. But DA's a shifty one, a shape-shifting soul. Can turn to anything, takes any form, takes control. Tonight the chupacabras come to town, sucking the life from all around. But these lawmen, they ain't afraid. They'll face the darkness unafraid. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. Bat wings flap, the air grows cold, a chill and trap. But these lawmen, they're ready to fight underneath the pale moonlight. Jet and Doc transform with a howl. DA shifts, becomes a night owl. Together they stand, a force so strong against the evil right in the road. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night.